right, 24 minutes before 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Nice looking Monday morning. This morning we were talking about strangers who have done nice things for us, and the phones lit up. We had lots of people calling in with stories of their own, and you know, you start to think about the times in your life where you met somebody who was in need and gave them a helping hand, or gave them a cold drink or whatever. There's always nice people out there, and I guess it's because the news always focuses on the bad people in the world. It makes it seem like that most of the world is bad, but I really think most of the world is good. But there is enough bad that we have to be worried about it. One day, maybe we will all be good. And every time you hear anybody with a philosophy about what we can do to make the world better, you have to wonder if they are onto something or not. And then, of course, you think about your religions that we have in the world, and some people say we shouldn't have any religion. But if you think about what a religion actually is, I mean, in addition to believing in a deity, whether you call that deity God or something else, in addition to believing in that, you also have a way of life that is often dictated by that religion. You know, you honor your mother and father, for example, and you just don't kill anybody, you don't hurt anybody, don't steal from anybody. So there is a book, and it's basically written so that children can grasp these kind of deep concepts. It's called, and I'm going to give it a pronunciation a shot, I may get it wrong, CaoDai, A Faith of Unity, a Parent and Child Book. It is written and illustrated by our two guests, Dr. Hum D. Bui and Dr. Hong D. Bui. Dr. Hum is the husband, and he's a religious scholar, a physician who works at a free clinic with his wife, and together they're on the phone, and they wrote the book. So good morning to both. Dr. Buies. I'll just say your last names. I hope I'm saying all these things correctly. It's new words for me. Good morning, Dr. Hum and Dr. Hong.
Good morning. Good morning.
Where are you? Where are you calling from?
We are from Redlands, California.
Oh, in California. Well, thank you for getting up early. And I apologize for Friday. We had phone problems that we didn't know what to do. So thank you for coming back today.
No problem. The sound is better today.
It sounds way better today. So the book is a delightful book, and the two of you wrote the book. So tell me about the origins of the book. Where does it all start for you?
Okay. In fact, we see many people killing each other because of the name of God. And CaoDai, the new religion from Vietnam, was founded by the Supreme Being in early 1920s with the purpose to finish all killing all conflicts of humanity because the name of God. So the principle of CaoDai believes that all religions have one same divine origin, which is God, who is probably called differently by different traditions. And CaoDai embraces all religions and has love and golden rules as the principle. Love is the true love without any personal interest behind. And golden rule is don't do to others what you don't want others to do to you. And CaoDai believes in the oneness between God and human. And everybody, every human being is granted by a sparkle of Spirit of God, and they are all children of the same human family. And CaoDai provides human ways of communicating and being unified with God, and believe, most importantly, that religions are just different manifestations of the same truth.
So do you call God God, or do you call God something else, and does that matter?
It doesn't matter, but we have different names of God called by different traditions. We call God CaoDai. In Vietnamese, we call God Ông Trời. But in the other tradition, we have a different name like Jehovah, Christ, Allah, Brahma, Nothingness, the Tao, Ahura Mazda.
Okay. Now, for those people who, the only one of those that you named that I know anything about, and I don't know much, but it's Jesus, because I was brought up in a church that taught about Jesus. So in the book that we call the Bible, Jesus teaches us to be kind, to do unto others as we would have to do unto. All the things that you just said are the same things Jesus teaches us. But in addition to that, in addition to all of those good ways to live, there's this message that there's life after death. Do the other religions teach that also?
Yes, we believe in the reincarnation, and we believe that every one of human being has a soul or spirit, which is granted by the Supreme Being, by God. And in human being, this spirit of God is called conscience.
Okay. Is there an inter-incarnation? What I mean by that, you say reincarnation. That would mean being born again as a baby, a physical human baby. But is there a point in between the two? Like, if I died today, would I be born today in another body, or would I have a couple of years, in heaven or someplace?
Everyone has a spirit of God inside, and we just have the temporary physical body of this earth. And after this life, the spirit of God persists and depends on what we have been doing in this earth. We may go to another life, another dimension, either higher or lower. If we're doing good, our physical body becomes lighter, purer, and closer to the purity of God, and we may transcend to another dimension higher, closer to God.
So does that mean that I lived before?
That means we may go to another dimension like fairyland or nirvana or heaven.
Okay, but does that mean I've lived before? Have I been here before?
Yes. We borrowed the physical body in previous life under another form of being, living being.
So am I experiencing in this life the rewards and or the punishments of my actions during my past life?
Right.
I am?
Yes.
Okay, here's why I have a problem with that. I have a problem with that belief, and I have no idea. I'm just asking questions. But here's why I have a problem with that. I know people who are stuck in wheelchairs, who have very, very little use of their body. They live their entire lives in such torture because of whatever physical ailment they were born with or were cursed with. And yet they're the kindest, sweetest people. And it seems to me that if they're kind and sweet, they probably have always been kind and sweet and don't deserve to be in that wheelchair.
The fact that we have some kind of accident or some kind of illness in this life is resulted from what we have done in the past life. So this is like a kind of punishment. And if we do good in this life, we serve humanity, we love a human being truly from our sincere heart, we may be rewarded by a better life in the next life.
Let me ask you about Hitler. Hitler was evil.
Yes.
He was healthy. He could speak clearly. He had power and he had money. Why was he born with such blessings? If in the previous life he was good and pure, you would think if he was bad, he would be born in such a state that he wouldn't be able to do the evil that he did.
Probably in the previous life, he had done some good things. But in this life, because of the evil, he become evil, and he become brutal and killing people.
Okay.
So there is a change of this life, and the change of this life is not related to the previous life. Probably in the previous life, he had done some good things.
So what is evil then? I mean, it sounds like evil is sort of like a disease. We can catch it. Is that what it is? And is evil a living entity? Is evil the devil?
Evil is a status of consciousness changed by the condition of the environment. So in this life, in this earth, he may be affected by some seduction, by some something that make him hate people, make him wanting to kill people.
Dr. Hamdi Bui.
In each one, yeah.
Go ahead.
I say something?
Yes.
Yeah. In each one of us, we have the good side and the bad side. And it's really easy to go from one side and to the other if we are not conscious enough to choose the good side of us. We have ourselves an internal good and also an internal bad at the same time. And it's a struggle of a daily life, and we have to be conscious of our good side and fight the bad side and set it aside so that we can progress to the purer and purer dimension.
Yeah, that's probably true. But I wonder when you look at humanity, or just if I'm not even worried about the whole humanity, just me. I only really know me. And I know that in my life I've probably been tempted to do things that were less than honorable, less than noble, and things that make me embarrassed to admit. And other people have done worse than I've done, but I don't concern myself with others. I only concern myself with myself. So do I get a pass if I ask for forgiveness? If I've done wrong, if somebody is in jail right now, and they're in there because they did something really bad, let's say they killed somebody, they can't bring that life back. But can they be put onto the right track again by asking for forgiveness?
Of course, we can. If you repent and you want to do good things to others, you truly love others, and you want to serve humanity, you do good things, you may become a saint.
That's recognizing and knowing that you have done something bad is already a very good step toward the good. So that's the start, the beginning of your journey toward God.
This is an interesting conversation. We have to take a little break. Dr. Hamdi Bui and Dr. Hamdi Bui out in California. Their book is called CaoDai, Faith of Unity, a parent and child book. It's really a wonderful book, and I really love what the sentiments are in it. I just think that with religion comes lots of deep questions, and I hope I'm asking the ones that you want me to ask. We'll take a little break, and we'll be right back.
Thank you.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Some sunshine today with a thunderstorm around this afternoon, high 87 to 91. Clear to partly cloudy tonight. There can be a shower or thunderstorm along the coast early on, those 72 to 76. For tomorrow, sunshine mixing with clouds, an afternoon thunderstorm around, high 88 to 92. And for Wednesday, times of clouds and sun with a shower or thunderstorm, high 88 to 92. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Dean Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440. In addition to our pasture mowing service, we also offer fence row spraying. Now is the perfect time to get ahead on weed control for an overall aesthetic appearance. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440 or online at powellgene, Gene, at yahoo.com. We are licensed and insured. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440.
Get it for less at the DIY Home Center outlet. Get top quality real wood cabinets the same or less than the big box stores are selling the cheap stuff. And that's not all. Drywall screws big box stores are $6.47 a pound. At DIY, only $4.99. Plus, DIY has the largest selection of mobile home parts and accessories anywhere. From carpet to doors, get the DIY supplies you need for less. The DIY Home Center outlet. We are your building material closeout store. 2191 Northwest 10th Street, just 2 miles east of I-75.
We're saving thousands with Robert Palmer.
Yeah, so rule number one is always shop around. Always shop around. If you're trying to get a mortgage, if you're trying to get the best credit card, if you're looking at student loans, cell phone bills, you name it, rule number one is always shop around. Always shop around.
That's rule number one, just one more vital part of fighting back to stop being a financial zombie. Yes, you can take the mystery out of the complicated world of finances. Take charge when it comes to your money. Listen in on The Source, 96.3 FM and 1370 AM, Saturdays at 12:05.
PPIR is a networking group formed to serve the realtor and small business community. It primarily serves the real estate and construction industry, but is open to all businesses that provide any service or product to the real estate business community. PPIR has no membership dues or fees for attendees. The watchwords are keep it simple and maximize networking time. PPIR chapters generally meet once a month after business hours. For the information on this, call 352-615-9412 or go to events@ppirevents.com. PPIR, professional people in real estate.
Putting the local back into radio. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. WOCA News. Variety. Information. Now. Keep your arms and legs on the inside at all times.
This is WOCA, News Talk 1370.
Your source for the #1 sports weekends. Fox Sports, only on 96.3 FM, 1370 AM.
All right. Thank you for waiting through the break. It is about 7 minutes before 11 o'clock. 7 minutes to talk about a topic that probably takes a lifetime of understanding, and it is the religions of the world. And it is an interesting thing how we embrace our own religion, and we often don't embrace other people's religions. We might embrace the people, but we don't always embrace the other religions. And yet, if you go through a book of the greatest quotes of all time, I mean, you always see quotes from Buddha, you see quotes from Jesus, you see quotes from Muhammad, you see quotes from almost all of the people we consider great religious leaders.
Right.
Which makes me wonder if we are somehow not seeing the bigger picture. The book that we're talking about is called CaoDai, A Faith of Unity, a Parent and Child Book, and our guests wrote the book and illustrated the book, I think. They illustrated Dr. Humdi Bui and Dr. Hungdi Bui. Did you illustrate the book as well as write it?
Yeah, I have a friend who has illustrated the book for us.
Oh, okay.
And Dr. Hong, when you are working at the free clinic, does religion come up in your conversations sometimes? Because most of the people that you might treat, they might have one family, but they might have two different religions within the family.
That's true. That happens quite often. And in our experience, we see that roughly 3 situations may arise when partners come from different traditions. The first one is one of the spouse give up his or her faith. The second situation, partners give up totally their routine worshiping practices. And the third one, each one keeps his or her respective faith and practices separately. It does not have to be like that. In the CaoDai spirit, God is unique and God is common to all religions. All religions come from one same divine origin. And God granted to each one of us a sparkle of His spirit. So in the CaoDai spirit, husband and wife of different faiths can both alternately go to each other worshiping place, the church, the temple, the synagogue, or the mosque, or a CaoDai temple, and the children will follow and will be exposed to both religions. And when time comes, they can choose one of the other, or they can embrace all religions at the same time. And in the CaoDai phase, we explain that there are 5 ways of the Great Way, and Home can continue on that.
We can embrace all religions because we believe that all religions can belong to many ways, and essentially we can understand that we have 5 ways of living. The first way, the way of humanity, when people serving, loving each other like a brother and sister, and the way of humanity teach people to be a good citizen, to be a good human being. And the next way, we can be more open and more dedicated to humanity. We serve humanity, we serve the country, and this is the way of the hero. And the next way, we may sacrifice ourselves, our own interests, to serve for humanity in the more extent. Like the most recent example of this way is Mother Teresa, who forget her own self, sacrifice her life for serving different people in the world. And the next way, when we are not concerned too much with the secular living, we may practice meditation and become an immortal. This is the Taoist way. And the last way is the way when we forget about everything of the secular life, and you believe that everything in the world is temporary, and you return to the nothingness, and you become enlightened after cultivating yourself, meditating, and you become enlightened, and which is a status called Buddha. And by dividing in different way of humanity, we embrace all the religion. For example, the way of saints, the example of Mother Teresa, the way of saints that include Christianity, Judaism, and Islam.
So
the way of immortality.
The book is called CaoDai, Faith of Unity. I just want to make sure we give the listeners information so they can look the book up online. Can you give us a website?
You just go to Amazon.com and you look for CaoDai, Faith of Unity, and you can see the book in the Amazon.
Okay, and let me just spell that for the listeners. It's CaoDai. That's CaoDai,
yes.
CaoDai. A very deep and thoughtful conversation, a very deep and thoughtful book. I mean, the whole book basically, what I get out of the book is to live with each other, be peaceful with each other, don't do bad things.
Right.
Don't be destructive to yourself or to others, and don't eat meat. It's vegetarian also, right? I think so.
Exactly. Because we are all
Dr. Bowie and Dr. Bowie, thank you both so much. We'll take a little break. We'll be right back.
From the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Pat O'Neill. Peaceful protests last night in Ferguson, Missouri, interrupted by gunfire. Police say they got one of the shooters.
The suspect taken down and now in critical condition. 4 officers uninjured, though placed on